Welcome to the Ask the Herbalist podcast with Lily Cunning. That's me, your host. Ask the Herbalist is brought to you by Haven Herbs, which is available to anyone, anywhere at havenherbs.com. So our first question today is a question about why Haven does things the way that they do in regards to lotion. And is that for a specific reason? And it absolutely is. And so I thought I would talk about why we do what we do, because we are hoping to benefit your health. So the lotions are a really great way to talk about toxicity in US body care. So I thought it was a really great question. So why we do lotions so weirdly? That was actually how they asked it. So for those of you that don't know, Haven Herbs makes lotions available only by pre-order or subscription. We don't have lotions perpetually for sale on the website. And so we have a monthly cutoff date um, at the 15th of the month. And then anyone who's ordered up until then gets that scent of the month or unscented or whichever lotion they chose. We have a milky face serum, we have a sunscreen, we have a magnesium lotion, we have a wild yam cream. All of these things are available either by pre-order or subscription. And the reason we do it so weirdly is because we're trying to spare you a bunch of toxic preservatives. So number one, we only are going to make as much as is needed in the moment so we don't cause waste. We're very big on reducing our carbon footprint and reducing as much waste as possible. So that's number one. Number two, we package in glass, and we only package in what would be a month's supply of the product. The reason we do that and we don't do those huge pump lotions the way that you find in the big box store is number one, you're never going to use all that in a month, which means those products are full of toxic preservatives and fungicides and shelf stabilizers and things that you just don't want in or on your body. And so what we're trying to do is reduce the toxins that people encounter in their life every day. So by making just a month's supply, we can just use a natural preservative, which is a fermented product, to keep mold growth at bay. Because when you have liquid in a formula, any kind of liquid, whether it's distilled water or a hydrosol in the in some of our formulas, they're hydrosols or they're even herbal tisanes. The liquid will cause bacterial and mold growth over, if it's left at room temperature, past a week or so. And that is a natural process. I want you to realize that nature is all about growth and decay in cycles. And so if you have a product that doesn't start molding at room temperature after a week or so, you know that it contains chemicals to keep it from doing so. And these chemicals are foreign to life itself. They are stopping the natural cycle of decay. And they're not good for you. They tend to be carcinogenic, they tend to be endocrine disrupting, all bad things that we at Haven just do not want to put in your product. So we package in small quantities so that we can use it up in time. We use a natural fermented preservative to keep it shelf stable for that long, a month or so. And we never, ever, ever use parabens or any other kind of toxic ingredient that is fishy, right? Suspicious for your health. And so part of the strategy there is the small packaging, the glass packaging, the natural ferment, and it's also the pre-sale and subscription. So We know exactly what time of month we're making lotions. We ship them out immediately so that that month span where we're using that natural preservative to keep it good for a month is the month that it's in your hands. It's not sitting on a shelf waiting to be purchased, right? Um, and this way, we are able to provide you the product that you want, some kind of lotion or cream, um, but in the least adversely impactful way, if that makes sense. We've given it a lot of thought, and this is how we do it. And I know it can be confusing when you're first jumping in, but I assure you, if you ever have any questions or you run into any problems with a subscription or a pre-order, just shoot me an email. I am happy to answer questions and let you know the status of anything. That is how we do lotions. So, just for the record, the lotions that Haven currently offers are the moisturizing whip, which is an all-over lotion. You can use it on your face if you want. It's good for your body as well. And that comes in a scent of the month, and it alternates by month. It's listed on the website, and an unscented anytime. We have Precious Face Milk, which is a facial serum for building collagen and elastin in aging skin. We have magnesium lotion, which we call magnificent lotion, in either unscented or lavender. We have wild yam cream, which is called lady lotion. We have sunscreen. It's a 30 plus SPF sunscreen called Beau Soleil. And we also make a limited edition lotion as part of our Fun in the Sun bundle when the weather gets warmer. And that's a bundle of sunscreen, bug spray, and sunburn cream called Disco Inferno. Those are the particulars around our lotion. If anyone has any questions or I failed to answer the question adequately, please let me know. Happy to answer. And I wish you a toxin-free day. Welcome to the Ask the Herbalist intermission. It's our intention that we answer 2 questions per episode, with this intermission in the middle letting you know about our sponsor, Haven Herbs. Haven Herbs is a small batch herbal apothecary that is high quality, family owned, and has over 100 products in body care, remedies, and tonics that have all been requested by our customers. If you search our catalog and don't find exactly what you're looking for, please send us an email because, again, all of our products have their origin by customer request. We also have a dedication to education, hence this podcast, but also we teach free classes for cancer support community. We have a blog full of tips and education and a YouTube channel. And we have online classes available for purchase on the website as well. If you have questions for this podcast, there's a couple ways to do it. You can email me, Lily, Lily, at havenherbs.com, or you can visit our subreddit, which is called Ask the Herbalist. Ask the Herbalist questions on our subreddit will be answered on Reddit, but also may make their way to the podcast. You can listen to this podcast anywhere you happen to stream your podcasts on YouTube, and they are archived on my Substack, which I will link to in the description. Now, back to our programming. We also got another email from a customer asking why we don't use essential oils as much as we used to, but also as much as many other companies do. And there's definitely a reason for that too. Everything we do is thought about a lot and is with intention and purpose. So I thought that that was a really great illustrative question. They ask, why is it that you don't have very many essential oils in your ingredients or products? They're a big fan of essential oils and they use them regularly, and they're wondering why it is Haven Herbs doesn't really have a ton of aromatherapy. And that's a good question. And it's very intentional. So when I first opened my brick and mortar store in Columbus, Ohio, the little herbal apothecary that people could walk into, I carried a lot of different things in addition to what I made. I carried a full aromatherapy line, and I really curated the quality of the products that I carried. I carried flower essences. I carried other herbal lines that weren't just mine. Um, and I became very increasingly concerned about information that was being given out about essential oils because people were using them in a way that was unsafe or ineffective at best, right? Unsafe at worst. Um, and I made it my mission to start educating people on essential oils and aromatherapy because there are many ways to use them safely and effectively, but there are a number of ways that they are not safe or effective. So I started an essential oil safety class. I taught it at the apothecary. I taught it at like the wellness convention for the Ohio Nurses Association, just anywhere I could, right? Um, and the main reasons that I don't do a lot of essential oils are one, I'm an herbalist, and my training was in botanical medicine, which included essential oils. Um, but as an herbalist, I not only care about the people that I treat, I also care about the planet. And essential oils are a very unsustainable trend, right? They were very trendy there for a couple years back. Um, and in order to continue to make more and more money, several of the bigger companies here in the United States started violating endangered species laws and taking endangered plants and harvesting them for essential oils. And I don't know how much folks know about manufacturing of essential oils, but it takes a lot of plant material to make a little bottle. So it's just not as sustainable as using whole plant medicine the way that I do mostly as an herbalist. So sustainability was a huge factor. And then, of course, safety. Now, the products that I make, the essential oils are not the main event, or they're, how should I say this? So, like, for example, I will put some essential oils in a lotion or in a salve. But the main ingredients are, the lotion or the salve. And the essential oils are kind of added after to increase the efficacy, but they are not the main deal. Um, I do have some aromatherapy roll-ons that I still manufacture, but they are pre-diluted. I no longer make diffuser blends, things that are unadulterated, because I was worried that people were using them unsafely because things need to be diluted. You should not be diffusing all the time in your home. If you have cats in your house or birds, you shouldn't be diffusing at all. You should be just using topical applications. So there's a lot of safety concerns. When I listened to my answer about essential oils, I do think that I forgot to talk about some of the more significant safety issues. So I'm going to patch it in right here. So, one of the things that you should be aware of is you should never, ever, ever ingest essential oils. Do not swallow them. They are corrosive. They are not meant to come in contact with mucous membranes. They are not safe. Number two, children under the age of 6 do not need any kind of essential oils. It was very popular to do so, but their systems are still developing, particularly their respiratory system. It's not the best for them. Use herbs when working with children instead of essential oils. And finally, that also goes for other vulnerable populations, the elderly, the immunocompromised. Why overload someone with phytochemicals when herbs do the job just as effectively and with fewer side effects? And finally, another safety tip. I had to treat someone in my clinical practice who took the advice of an essential oil salesperson, an MLM salesperson. And when they had a vaginal yeast infection, they put tea tree essential oil on a tampon and inserted it and ended up with vaginal scarring and burns and pain for months. So please do not do that either. Again, essential oils and mucous membranes, they should not come in contact with each other. So just going to insert that little tip there about essential oil safety into the main answer of the podcast. You use little drops as the dosage, and it's so easy to overdose. These are volatile, corrosive, highly concentrated chemicals. They may be sourced from plants, but you would never encounter the amount of phytochemicals concentrated like that in nature, right? So let's compare peppermint essential oil to peppermint tea, right? You can drink a lot of peppermint tea and you'd probably get too full to drink any more before you even came close to reaching the level of phytochemicals, that are in peppermint essential oil. The other thing to know about essential oils is that, the steam distillation, which is the main way that essential oils are created, only extract a narrow profile of phytochemicals from that plant. I get a much broader um, array of phytochemicals from drinking peppermint tea. And that also, I think, helps to buffer any side effects that may happen. Just like pharmaceuticals, because these things are extracted and concentrated, um, they can cause more side effects than a whole plant with its whole array of different phytochemicals together. So just like I recommend taking turmeric over curcumin, I recommend drinking peppermint tea over using peppermint essential oil. Um, it's sort of a modern day concoction that isn't as necessary if you have the plant medicine. And frankly, if the economy were to collapse and the supply chain were to collapse, you could grow peppermint in your backyard, but not everybody has a steam distillation unit, right? And I'm all about the people's medicine. So that is just a very broad brushstroke about essential oils. I do think they're powerful. I do think they are interesting, and I do use them. I use them sparingly because they're less sustainable, and they're not in everything, and they're not good for everything, right? Um, so yeah, that's my answer. I look forward to answering more of your questions in the future. Make sure that you visit the Ask the Herbalist subreddit or email me at lily@havenherbs.com. Bye. All right, we've come to the end of the podcast, and of course, now we need the necessary disclaimers. If you get 10 herbalists in a room, you're going to get 10 different opinions on something. We are a cantankerous lot, so your mileage may vary. The opinions that are expressed here on the podcast are the opinions of the herbalists appearing, including your host, Lily Cunning, and our sponsor, Haven Herbs. Also, some necessary legalese. Lily and Haven and anyone else appearing on this podcast are not your licensed medical provider and therefore can't legally offer advice or products to diagnose, treat, or cure any illness. The content on the podcast is not intended to substitute for advice given by a physician, a pharmacist, or any other licensed healthcare professional. You shouldn't use this information as self-diagnosis or treating a health problem or disease. Information and statements on the podcast regarding dietary supplements have not been evaluated by Health Canada nor the FDA of the United States and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition. And of course, see a practitioner of your choosing if your condition persists or worsens. Got it? Great.